Hello everyone, welcome to Johnny's NetSec YouTube channel. A couple of months ago, I did 2 videos regarding Barracuda CloudGen Firewall F12 for the initial configuration and firewall access rules. F12, it is small but powerful, also families desktop type firewall for the small office, 10-15 people to use. The throughput, once you enable the thread protection, it's around 250 Mbps, enough for a small office. It also powerful. Even the price is very good at this moment. From eBay, you can get it for around $100 for a new one. It has 2 GB RAM on it. It has an Intel CPU, 2 USB 3 slot, and also console access. So that gave us an opportunity to install third-party software like pfSense, which I'm gonna show you in this video. It is so simple and so easy to do after I tried it. So now, let me show you. Before we start to install pfSense to this Barracuda CloudGen Firewall, we need to make sure we have console access. So as mentioned in my blog, console port has been configured as baud rate 19200 by default. So you can change it to other mode for management only and console and management or dialing modem mode. But by default, it is console only mode running on baud rate 19200. What you need to do is 2 cables, power cable and console cable. You also need to configure your PuTTY to connect to your console. So we are going to using console 3 because that is my computer's configuration. My computer has USB serial port COM3 connected, which is connecting to Barracuda's console port here. The speed, baud rate 19200. So I'm gonna open it since I didn't power on my Barracuda firewall yet. So there's nothing in the console window. Here is my console connection, Barracuda firewall, and this is power cable, console cable, just 2 cables. Turn on, press this button. You can press delete key to get into BIOS mode. Unfortunately, I pressed the delete key too late, so we are gonna take a look. So it's gonna be automatically boot on from Barracuda's OS, default OS. So let's take a look at that, and then we are gonna power off the computer and reboot it, and then we're gonna press BIOS button to see the configuration. So now we got the F12 login. I'm gonna try to log in with my username and password. Finally, we got in. So we're gonna reboot it. I pressed the delete key And now I got this enter password for our BIOS window. If you need to log in with this password, you can check it out from video description or blog post. It is pfSense. K1. Just like a normal motherboard, computer motherboard, you will see those configurations: BIOS info, system time, advanced settings, chipset, security, boot. So boot is the important thing we need to know. Right now we only have one option, which is built-in internal in SSD hard drive. So we don't need to do anything here. We can take a look, browse to it. Once we have bootable pfSense USB flash drive, we can directly plug in, and then you will see two boot options here. By default, it will start it from flash drive. So there was boot option 1 will change it to your pfSense flash disk, and boot option 2 will be this Intel SSD. So now we can power it off. We can start to make our bootable pfSense USB drive. To install pfSense, you need download the image, which you can easily pfSense download search, get this pfSense community version. You're gonna need to choose AMD 64-bit architecture, and we're gonna use in USB memory stick installer, and we also need to choose serial. Since we have serial port, console port, then you need to download it. I already downloaded it, so I don't want to repeat this step. The next one is using Rufus to create bootable USB drive. So you can download it for free. I already did that, so I just double click, bring it up. My USB flash drive has been plugged in, so what we need to do is just choose the download image. Click start. You can start to write the image to this flash drive. It probably take 1 minute to get it done. You will get this warning message since everything gonna be wiped out. That's normal. Now it is ready to use this flash drive to install pfSense. Now I have plugged in a USB key into USB 3 slot in this Barracuda F12 firewall. So the first slot from the top, and the console cable, power cable. That's it. I'm gonna open the console. First thing we're gonna use in 19200 to get into BIOS. We can take a look. So I'm gonna power on. You will hear a beep sound. Press delete key, and then you need to enter the password. We're gonna take a look at the boot option. So we should be able to see two options, as I mentioned before. So we have two options. Boot option 1 is our flash disk. Boot option 2 is our P1 Intel internal SSD drive. That's good enough. We're gonna start the installation. Because it's gonna boot it from pfSense image. pfSense image gonna use in a different baud rate. So before we are using 19200 to get into BIOS, but for pfSense we're gonna using 115,200 this baud rate. So that will give us the console access to pfSense installation wizard. I'm gonna open it, so then we can take a look what's going happening. I restart my firewall. It will show those gray bar until they starting to booting from a USB flash drive. So now you will see this familiar pfSense installation wizard. We will let it run until we gonna starting to enter the options selections to continue the installation. We need to choose the terminal type for our system. We can use NC VT100 extern. I'm gonna use the default one, VT100. So there's a copyright and trademark notice. Press enter, accept it. And by default, they will just ask you to install pfSense. Click enter to OK. It will ask you to choose key map. We're gonna enter, connect, select, enter. We're gonna select install. We're gonna use default settings. Here's a tricky part. You need to choose ADA 0 as your installation destination. So press space key in your keyboard and then press enter to choose ADA 0 as your installation destination. Using your left key to move to yes option and then enter, select yes. Now it's going to be started installation. The installation probably take 5 minutes to be done. We'll let it run. The installation actually running faster than I thought, probably 2 to 3 minutes. It finished it. It asking you, do you want to open the shell to make some modification? I was saying no, I don't need to make any changes. It will ask you, do you want to reboot? I will say yes. So it's gonna reboot, so we're gonna wait. Once you see the rebooting process completed, you may want to take out your flash drive, else it will go through all process to start the installation again. So actually I haven't unplugged my USB drive, so Right now it's going through the whole process again. But once you finished your configuration, you can unplug it and you will power cycle your system, then you should be good to go. So we are gonna wait a bit until we see that installation selection menu VT100. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna unplug my US flash drive. You will see detached message, but I will power cycle it. So the installation completed. We're gonna do our first boot into our pfSense. So now, since we don't have flash drive plugged in, it's gonna boot it from internal SSD. It will automatically configure your LAN interface and WAN interface. It will auto assign one of your port as WAN, another port as LAN. Once you successfully booted into this enter option mode, you will hear a music coming from this small Barracuda F12 firewall. It's a melody to show you they have been successfully booted, and now we can start the configuration. Just for your information, that LAN interface has been assigned as IGB1, and the WAN interface is IGB0. So which one is IGB1, which one is IGB0? Let me show you that. If you look at my blog post, there's an image to show you. From the right, the second one is IGB1. This is IGB0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're gonna need plug a cable, as I show you here. Plug this blue cable into number 4 port. If you see the numbers on your F12, you will see this number 4 port. We will use it as a LAN port. So the IP 192.168.1.1 has been assigned to this interface. We can use our web browser to access to it. The firewall is up, pfSense firewall running on Barracuda F12. You can use 192.168.1.1 to access to it, but make sure your computer has been configured. The interface has 192.168.1.x/24 networks IP. For example, 192.168.1.10. You can configure your local computer, and then you should be able to reach it. The username, admin, password pfSense, standard username password. Now right away we are in pfSense. What I want to show you is interfaces. So for the WAN, nothing plugged in, but for the LAN, it's up and running on 192.168.1.1. Pretty cool. So that's all the video. We got our pfSense Community Edition installed on our F12 Barracuda firewall. Nice, quiet firewall. You can put it on your desk. You even won't be able to notice it until you reboot it. You will hear that the melody to show you it has been rebooted. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. As usual, please subscribe my channel if you haven't. Give me some up to support me. See you in my next one.